This is a big award. This is pretty important. So to get this award, you're doing really, really amazing things, which also means that I get to read to you a lot, so it's story time. The NDPA desires to acclaim and honor exceptional work in the advancement of drowning prevention and water safety. The purpose of the NDPA Lifesaver of the Year award is to identify one individual or organization that has advanced the efforts of drowning prevention and water safety in the United States. Halle Quezada never gave much thought to the dangers of water, but that perception changed on July 6th, 2018. She and her family witnessed teenagers struggling in a structural current at the Loyola Beach in Chicago. Pull one girls out of the water, but the other girl, 13-year-old Dariana Torres, drowned. For her, being on that beach that night she was so powerless and helpless because everyone there wanted to do something, but there was no rescue equipment available. She said, in hindsight, when you just replay the moments over and over, it was so preventable and so needless. Quezada believed that updated beach signs about structural currents, installing life rings, and extending lifeguard hours would have saved Torres's life that night. Her thoughts immediately turned into action. Quezada started a petition to address what she saw was a problem at area beaches. As a result, she co-founded the Chicago Alliance for Waterfront Safety, a community group that allows those concerned about water safety and drowning to share resources. Since that tragic night, Halle has never lost determination to save lives. She immediately hosted Lake Michigan water safety presentations and press conferences on the lakefront. She also works with family members of drowning victims, local politicians, and the Chicago Park District to improve beach safety. Halle also regularly speaks with the newspaper, radio, and TV media to educate the public, as well as give updates to the progression of water safety advancements in Chicago. After over 3 years of work, life rings are being installed at on the Chicago lakefront. This nomination for the 2022 National Drowning Prevention Alliance's Lifesaver of the Year Award also transcends to Jessica Leon, Maria Diaz, Jim Gendersky, sorry if I butchered those names. They have all worked directly with Halle to implement change. Jessica lives in Florida, but in 2018, her father, Horatio, drowned in Lake Michigan. In 2019, Jessica began working with Halle. They both have spoken at numerous city council meetings, park district meetings, and anyone who would listen to install life rings on the Chicago lakefront. And every step of the way, Jessica made the same efforts in Miami, Florida, where life rings have now been installed. On August 22nd, 2021, Maria Diaz lost her son, Miguel, to a Lake Michigan drowning at the same beach that Dariana drowned at in 2018. Through the grief and the sudden loss of her oldest son, her 6'4" gentle giant, Maria spoke out to the media at the Park District meetings, city council meetings, and demanded that life rings too. Jim had been working with Halle since the beginning. After Miguel's drowning incident, Jim began installing his own life ring on the pier. Their combined efforts to have life rings installed on the Chicago lakefront will provide locals and vacationers from around the world water safety. We're gonna play a video for you, and then we're gonna have Halle come up.
They got one girl out, she's unresponsive, we just called an ambulance for them, and the other one is still in the water. Does anyone see the other person?
The call to first responders came in around 7:35 last night. 5 swimmers needed to be rescued following very high waves.
They were swimming at Leon Park Beach on the north side, where they were caught by a strong current. Rescuers pulled them out quickly, but 2 girls went under. The 13-year-old girl has died. Chicago police saved 1 girl. Officers took off running after the other girl was spotted about 3 blocks south of where she went under. She'd been underwater for at least 45 minutes.
On July 6, 2018, Halle Quezada and her family witnessed teenagers struggling in Lake Michigan. They helped pull 1 girl out of the water, but a 13-year-old girl had submerged.
I was on the beach with my family. We got up at 7 o'clock just as lifeguards were leaving. A group of kids went in the water. They went close to a break wall. 2 girls were swept out past the break wall, so hundreds of feet.
When it happened so fast. And we felt so powerless.
The day after the drowning, Halle reached out to water safety experts, wrote a lakefront emergency action plan, and submitted it to the mayor of Chicago. She also co-founded the Chicago Alliance for Waterfront Safety, started a petition, and hosted Lake Michigan water safety presentations.
Quezada launched a petition and started publicly advocating for changes. Water rescue flotation devices, like the life preservers already posted at harbors and near the river, restored lifeguard hours, numbered beaches and break walls so people can easily give their location if they call 911 about a swimmer in distress.
Drowning is the 2nd leading cause of death for children aged 5 to 14. And as adolescents reach the age of 15, the rates of drowning triple. We are essentially saying that it was acceptable if we don't make changes as a response. And that's what really makes me more emotional than anything else, because I'm not comfortable waiting to see who's next.
There were so many other points where her death could have been prevented. So many things that could have happened. It took about 20 minutes to get a flotation device there.
What I witnessed was the rescue of her friend and the painful battle between hope and time, when a child submerged on our waters and time won.
Joining me now to talk more about water safety are Holly Baker with the Red Cross and Halle Quezada, co-founder of the Chicago Alliance for Waterfront Safety. I want to start by asking you, what is it about Lake Michigan that makes it so potentially dangerous? Does it give us a false sense of security?
Absolutely. Lake Michigan also has other risks that maybe make it even more dangerous than the ocean. So, for example, the ocean, the waves are coming in from much further away. So you could have 10, 15 seconds between a wave. In Lake Michigan, we get a couple seconds. You get 2 seconds. So if you get knocked down, you get your head up and you're knocked down again. And that causes panic. Panic kills.
After over 3 years of work and much larger grassroots community efforts with residents, efforts with family members of drowning victims, life rings are finally being installed on the Chicago lakefront.
Require owners of piers and drop-offs along Lake Michigan to install essential life-saving equipment. Joined now by State Representative Kelly Cassidy, the House sponsor of the legislation. Good morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being with us this morning. So talk about the reason why you wanted to sponsor this bill, the passion behind it.
Absolutely. The passion really came from my constituents. The constituent who has worked for years to get the Park District to acknowledge the need for safety equipment and training. And this past summer was kind of the last straw. We had another drowning. This young man was 6 feet from the pier. And had there been a life ring, he would be alive today. We introduced the bill to use the gold standard of safety technology and equipment. And now we are the first state in the Midwest to have this level of safety on the Great Lakes.
So let's talk about the legislation. What are you asking for? What are you hoping for?
Really very, very simple. We want to make sure that folks can get to a life ring, operate on a faster timeline than the law will require. These life rings in Chicago will be available this summer.
Please help me welcome the National Drowning Prevention Alliance's 2022 Lifesaver of the Year Award winner, Halle Quezada.